This is Play NHL, a presentation of the Sports Crafters, airing on BOA.TV, and is an EA Sports NHL 15 simulation of what could happen in today's featured game of the National Hockey League.
Thank you for joining me, gamers and hockey fans. I'm Eric Munter, Sports Crafter, playing for EA Sports NHL 15 in today's featured game of the National Hockey League. Opening night in the National Hockey League. The Toronto Maple Leafs hosts the Montreal Canadiens. Once again, I'm Eric Munter, playing as the host Toronto Maple Leafs in this NHL opener. Back to the point, drive deflected through traffic, got through and was stopped by the Toronto netminder. Leafs make a rush the other way. Kadri tried to break through PK Subban, but could not. Led up and ahead and on to P.A. Parenteau. He feeds it across, broken up but gotten back by Pacioretty. Good save on the challenge there by the goaltender. Worked up to Nazem Kadri. Kadri tried to feed it across, could not. Now Markov picks it up and plays to Galchenyuk. He leads it to Parenteau. At center, the backhand feed. Back to Galchenyuk. He moves in. Poked off his stick momentarily, but gets it back in the corner. Walks off the wall. Feed out in front. They score! Max Pacioretty! Pacioretty from Galchenyuk and Parenteau get the Montreal Canadiens on the board first. It's 1-0. Leafs try and get it back quickly. Shot through traffic, hit the post! Rene Bourque now for the Canadiens. Works it to Gilbert and he feeds it ahead to Plechanek. Tomas Plechanek into the slot, the feed across! And Bernier makes the save and gets the whistle for the faceoff. To the left of Jonathan Bernier, faceoff one, shot just over the net. May have glanced off the glove of Bernier. Leafs try and get out and do. Franzen, he's in over the blue line. He waits, now finds a lane, takes a shot, and a save there by Carey Price. Franzen finds it again. Fed out in front, across. Backhand flick on net, didn't get there. Picked up by the Leafs again. Across, man open. Here's a shot, stopped off the pad of Carey Price. Canadiens work it, cycle it in deep, and try and break out and do. Lars Eller, over center, over the blue, into the Toronto end, takes a hit. Leafs have the puck. They work it in their own end, works it out, and up ahead to David Booth. Booth coming over in a trade from the Canucks, takes a shot that just goes wide of the net. Held in at the point by Captain Dion Phaneuf. Phaneuf to Franzen. Franzen works it on the backhand to Phaneuf again. Phaneuf, he shoots, it's blocked up high. Owen, lead pass to Eller with under a minute to go in the period, big hit along the wall. Bernier let it go for his defense. Under 10 to go, trying to get a last-second break here is Bozak. Tyler Bozak with 3. He shoots! He scores! Bozak, with 1.8 to go in the first, ties the game at 1. The lone assist will go to David Clarkson, and the Toronto Maple Leafs tie the game at 1 late in the first. Shots after 20 minutes. 4-3 in favor of the visiting Montreal Canadiens. Canadiens got on the board first before Toronto answered back with a late, and I mean late, first period goal. Bozak, on a shot to the stick side of Price, beat him with under 2 seconds to go. Shot again, and it glanced off the left pad of Price. Big hit along the wall, and the Leafs retain possession. Fed across. Here's Kadri. He scores! Nazem Kadri! 2-1 Toronto! Kadri, with his first of the season, a snapshot up high, over the stick of Price, into the top shelf, and it's 2-1 Maple Leafs. Puck dumped in deep, getting to it first are the Leafs, and they look to break out and do. In over the line, looking for another chance. Drops it off, it's Clarkson. Clarkson looks to the backside, a feed for Bozak. Got out in front and Price gathered it in. Played it off now to Plechanek. Right side feed to Gallagher. Gallagher rubbed off, puck in deep. Played up to Clarkson, and the Leafs break the other way. Back and forth action here in the second. Clarkson holds. Clarkson shoots, and a save by Price. Rebound gathered in for a second by Bozak, and he's hit. Gallagher for the Canadiens breaks the other way, feeds it ahead to Rene Bourque. Bourque is in by the faceoff dot, dips it back to the point, feed out in front, and an open score! Gallagher ties the game, it's 2-2. Brendan Gallagher with the tying goal. PK Subban and Rene Bourque gather in the assists. And this game is knotted back up again. Puck in deep in the corner, Eller. Send it in front, saved by Bernier. Brandon Prust feeds to the point. Canadiens walk in, a blocker save there by Bernier. Gathered back in by Eller. He centered it, Bernier got it, and played it off to Robida. Now David Booth. Booth across to Fratton. Fratton holds up. Fratton looking for help. Sends it down low, found Booth. David Booth has it. Flicks it on net, scores! David Booth! 3-2 Maple Leafs! David Booth from Fratton and Robida at 17-28 has given Toronto the lead back. Feeds it over and across. Dion Phaneuf saw that go off his skate. Dump back in behind the net. Leafs are going to get to it first. Back to the point. Here's a shot. Didn't get through. Was blocked up high. Canadiens break it out. It's now a 2-on-1 the other way. Pacioretty is in. He waits and he holds up, negating the rush. But they score! Canadiens come right back and tie the game at 3. Mike Weaver jumping up on the play. The feed from Pacioretty. Galchenyuk will get the second assist. And late in the second, the Canadiens tie the game at 3. Montreal, through 2 periods, leads in shots 9-7. The score is tied at 3. Canadiens break into the zone. Feed drop back. Out in front. Glove save Bernier, and he gets the faceoff. Face-off to the left of Jonathan Bernier is won by Montreal. Back to the point. Clean shot. Scores! Canadiens take the lead. Alexei Emelin from Thomas Plechanek gives Montreal their lead. First lead back since the first when it was 1-0. Now in looking for more, but it's poked off the stick of Plechanek. Sent out in front. They score! Rene Bourque. It's 5-3. The first 2-goal lead of the night for the Canadiens. Bourque with his first of the game. Plechanek and Gallagher continue with their big nights. And the Canadiens has seized control of this one here early in the third. Feeds across. Good save there by Bernier on the challenge on Pacioretty. Sent it in front and it trickled just wide of the goal. Pacioretty with difficulty behind the net. Tried to center it to an open man, but it didn't get onto his stick. And now, Van Riemsdyk looks to chase it down, but Markov got there first. Parenteau up the right wing for the Canadiens will just send in. Around the boards, Pacioretty is there. Fed to the point. A shot got through and may have hit the Canadian in front. Leafs break the other way. Nazem Kadri. Kadri holds. Kadri still with it now. To the net. Kadri a shot. It's off of Price. To the boards. Subban gathers it and plays it up to Galchenyuk ahead to Parenteau. Parenteau on the left wing for the Canadiens. Looks into the slot. Knocked away by Phaneuf. But it's played again over to Markov. Backside feed there didn't get onto a stick. And the Canadiens recoil at center. Into the zone comes Montreal. Toronto needs to get some pressure on, but they're all the way hemmed in their own end. Into the zone, it's Van Riemsdyk. He shoots, a save by Price. Gathered back in by David Clarkson. Clarkson tries to get to the net. Didn't get a shot away. Canadiens, they break the other way. Under 5 to play. Drop pass. Shot! Just wide of the net. Maybe getting a piece of it with the blocker was Bernier. Gilbert couldn't hold the line. And a penalty to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Montreal, with 2:33 to go in regulation, up by 2, goes to the power play. Gardner takes and hammers down the ice. Price will watch this go wide of his net. Gathered in by Subban. Gallagher. Toronto is going to need a massive effort here on the penalty kill in order to extend this game. Poked off the stick and it's 1-on-2. Now over to Santorelli. He's hit hard. Played across, Desharnais. Across to Gallagher. Gallagher's hit along the wall. Gets it back. Feeds it to the point. Canadiens happy to just play around with this puck on the power play. They don't need another goal. In front, good save on the Canadian forward there by Bernier. Gallagher across, man open, the feed, back to the point. Here's a chance, they shoot, they score! PK Subban! 6-3 Canadiens! A power play goal with under a minute to go seals this one. Subban from Desharnais and Markov, the power play goal, gives Montreal the 6th 8-3 lead as they nearly got another one. Eller in front. They score! Moen! 7-3 Montreal. Moen from Eller and Prust as the Canadiens pour on the pressure against Toronto here in this one as the Leafs, with a disappointing effort to say the least, in their home opener for this season. Leafs break the other way. Late in this one, a shot saved by Price. Still with it in the corner, Toronto looking for a chance. Man open in front. Good, it's saved there by Price. Best save of the night when it didn't matter. Big hit along the wall. Under 20 seconds to play now. Desharnais on the steal. Desharnais on the backhand. Flicks it on net and off the glove of Bernier as he made the save. Played to the point. Out in front. They score again! 8-3! Dale Weiss with the 8th Canadian goal on the night. Mike Weaver the lone assist. And mercifully, this game will end in 7 seconds for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Taken near the net, nearly in front, cleared down the ice, and that'll do it. The Montreal Canadiens come into Toronto and obliterate their rival 8-3. Thank you for joining me for today's featured game. Be sure to subscribe and comment to let me know who your favorite team is and what game you'd like to see. Also, don't forget to go out and get EA Sports NHL 15 for your gaming console. And of course, be sure to join me for another game at another time.
The proceeding has been brought to you by EA Sports NHL 15. Catch all new simulations of featured games from Play NHL on the Sports Crafters, airing on www.boa.tv.